You know those art tutorials where they tell you to draw some circles and sticks, then add the details and you're done? You know how each tutorial just shows you how to draw just one thing? Yeah, we're not doing that here. Hey babes, welcome to the ward. In this video, we're going to go over some deceptively simple processes that you can use to improve your art. The problem with the type of tutorial I mentioned a second ago is that when you follow some steps to draw one thing, you're not learning how to draw as a whole. It's like if you give a man a fish, he'll be fed for a day. What I teach you will hopefully be more akin to teaching a man to fish so that the man can be fed for life. But of course, that means you're going to have to put in some time and effort on your own. The 3 steps to improving at art are observe, create, reflect, then you repeat. Naturally, if you're just doing art for fun, you don't necessarily need to do those in that exact order. But like I said, this is about improving at art, which can have differences and similarities to having fun with art. Now let's get into a bit more detail about each. Observing is important because it can be hard to make good stuff if you don't know what actually makes a piece of art good. Or it can be hard to know how to draw something if you don't know what it looks like. You may have run into situations where you think, yeah, I know what that animal looks like. Then you try to draw it and yeah. So it is crucial that you take the time to really look at things, whether it's references, inspirational art, or the world around you. Pay attention to things like the shapes things are made of, how far apart and close things are, negative and positive space, light and shadow, the way colors work together, types of textures, lines, and compositions. Observe yourself and other people, inside and out. As you start to pay closer attention to these things, not only will you be more aware of how to use different art tools in your art, but you can also gain a better appreciation for various art pieces and real life. Then, you put those observations into practice and create. I've been talking about drawing, but obviously you can use any art form, like painting, pottery, sculpture, music, baking, cooking, writing, dancing, sewing, just any kind of making. Though of course you may need to change what you observe depending on your art form of choice, but just make something. And pay special attention to including aspects of what you've observed. Once you're done, or even not done, take the time to reflect on what you've made. How does it look? What parts of it are good? What parts have room for improvement? How did you feel making it? What do you want to observe and make moving forward? Do you want to try anything new? Ask yourself things like that. Think about it, then repeat, starting again with observation. Then you do that cycle forever, or however long you feel like doing it. Something I'd like to bring to your attention is that art probably shouldn't just be a grind. If you keep drawing blindly without taking the time to observe things or look at how you're doing, it may take you longer to improve even if you're drawing for hours each day. As they say, work smarter, not harder. For example, I've been doing some 2-minute croquis studies recently, and before I start each one, I take a second to observe things like shapes, lines, and gesture. Then I draw it, and I make a lot of mistakes. But that's why the reflection part is so important. To improve, I have to take the time to recognize what looks wrong and why, and think about what I can change on the next one. As I repeat the cycle of observation, creation, and reflection, my croquis and art skills as a whole get a bit better. Then after a week, I forget it and have to do the whole thing over again. But of course, it gets easier each time. But don't forget that art is meant to be fun. So while improving and learning new things can certainly bring joy, don't let the sweet feeling of creation get swept away in the desire to improve. You're allowed to just create and play with art. I hope I was able to give you some ideas that can help you know how to take action to improve. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. Stay curious and have a wonderful day.